Yeah, as far as the other heroes for Alliance, we're going to introduce the players right now. It looks like they're moving out fairly quickly, so maybe up to some aggressive movement here in the beginning. With Misery on the Treant Protector, starting out with Boots. Loda will be playing as the Terrorblade, then we have the Centaur being played by Ape Mother. They actually swapped. And then, as far as the camera, the Timbersaw will be played by Admiral Bulldog. And then finally, that leaves the, I believe we're missing the Skywrath Mage, played by Aki.
Okay, and on the Radiant side, we have PPD.
Okay.
PPD on Abaddon. We have Zai on the Carry Ogre. Every Ogre is Carry Ogre. Fear on the safe lane, Necrophos. The last two, we have Arteezy in the mid lane, and Universe on the Nature's Prophet with that nice looking Scythe of Vice.
So the laning here coming out for EG is pretty much as expected. I'm not sure if Alliance are doing what we thought. We thought it's going to be a Timbersaw mid, which it looks like they might still do with Bulldog actually playing mid, so mixing it up here a little bit for Alliance. It's been a long time since
At least they're
Bulldog
mixing something up.
Yeah. Well, I want to say even their draft too, because this is arguably a 4 Protect 1, but in a with like a different style. And most importantly for me, they're running an aggressive trialing, which is something we almost never see out of a team like Alliance, who play very traditionally and much of the same. But in this game, I think it's actually going to be a very good call, because they're identifying the fact that EG's support duo is really weak, and they're supporting a Necrophos. Like, that lane, the lane of EG is actually extremely weak, in my opinion. And Alliance will win that lane if they play well.
Yeah, I think they should, but at the same time, they only have one range hero in their lane, too.
Yeah. With
Skywrath, Terrorblade, half range, so 1.5. But, I mean, who are you going to kill in that lineup? Necrophos with both of those supports backing him up, and Ogre with his ridiculous base armor, or Abaddon, who's usually not going to be in a good position to go on. So I don't think any of them are terribly easy to kill.
But they don't even, the thing is, they don't even necessarily need to get a kill. It's just about controlling the lane and denying Necrophos farm, because that hero without farm is extremely weak. So I think Alliance are content if they just get to hold the lane and maybe deny some pulls from EG and just let Loda farm down here. As long as Loda, like, doubles the farm of Fear, I think they're happy with that, because in the top lane they've got Centaur versus Prophet, which should also be a fairly even lane, I guess. And the mid lane, Timbersaw versus Dragon Knight, easily favors the Timbersaw. This is a lane Bulldog needs to win.
Isn't this really obvious that the two supports are hiding in the trees? You're not going to just solo an offlane Terrorblade. That would just be suicide. So, yeah, hopefully they don't get caught out by surprise. They shouldn't, at least.
Yeah, well, looks like Fear's thinking about it, but I don't think he's going to fall for it, like you said. The two, well, they almost can't even go on Loda anyway, right? They don't even have the kill potential to bring down Loda with the 3 heroes if they can find their abilities.
They can easily turn around a King Ogre Magi. No skill point taken up yet. See, maybe half and half Ignite and Fire Blast taken at level 1, and Loda in a very good position. And they also have this very aggressive Observer Ward too, and they will spot out Zai attempting to make a creep pull and PPD now, so this could actually be a very good time for them to go if Fear pushes up.
Yeah, and Loda successfully got the lane in a really good position here, so very nice creep draw in the beginning here, aggroing that away, and we'll be holding it in a very nice spot. We see the ping coming out from PPD. They know the supports are down there, but because of that, they don't want to go on Loda. But at the same time, if they can't really pull effectively enough, then this is not really bringing much with it. There's one pull coming out right now from the Ogre of Zai, who looks like will be getting the connection pull here as well, together with PPD, and that's the goal call for Alliance of supports. They know that EG are aware of their presence here, and they'll try to contest this.
Yeah, that's
Man, what a fight this will be. Treant versus Ogre, Abaddon. Nothing happens. Tree is burning. If this was Pokemon, he would have lost twice that health. And he is thinking about the Leech Seed, but, well, I should have done that to take the region, but I'm not going to do that.
So we'll be the Ignite at level 1. And yeah, there's just not too much kill potential on either side of this lane.
No, it's just a farm lane, and as far as that goes, it's looking good for Alliance so far. I mean, all the 3 lanes are topping the charts on last hits right now, especially the mid lane. Arteezy is getting crushed by Bulldog. I said it was favoring the Timbersaw, but he's running him over. 12-3 against 3-2 on Arteezy. Extremely good play from Bulldog so far in that mid lane.
Yeah, in top lane we see Universe squared off versus Ape Mother. Ape Mother winning out in CS2, 11-2 versus the 8-1 of Universe. And in the bottom lane, at least the supports have to help out Fear, which severely detracts from Necrophos' strength. He really needs levels as a solo hero too, which is why he's not extremely popular in tri-lanes. And I think why it's a good idea for Alliance to contest too, because then they force the supports and they limit Necrophos' ability to scale well into the 10 to 15 minute phase of the game.
Yeah, I think Alliance really has EG's number so far in this game with how they put their lanes. Going into this game, I think EG has the mindset that Alliance always does the same thing. They run a safe lane, tri-lane with LoTa farming, and they thought they could get away with something greedy like this, but Alliance really have taken advantage already, and it looks like they might really try and go on fear here, yeah. Okay. They damaged him, now the turnaround's going to come onto Aki. Good damage being done here. LoTa, however, with the Metamorphosis, is hitting hard back, but the Prophet porting in. First blood's going to go the way of Zai on the Ogre. Fight still breaking out here. Zai is taking a lot of damage, so is LoTa. He's going to get sprouted up. Does have tangos. Pretty slow using them, though. That's going to be a 2-0 for EG here. The Prophet, we didn't even talk about his possibility to TP in here, and they get extreme value out of that. 900 gold swing from those 2 first kills, and EG desperately needed that.
Very well played by PPD. Oh, Misery.
Well, even going to go on Misery here. Need one more attack from Zai. Does have boots. Not catching up.
That Heartstopper aura almost ticked him down. And it looks like Centaur is actually coming in now. 8 Mother with his Tranquil Boots.
This is a pretty expensive TP, unless, well, they're actually just, they're rotating the lanes. I like this call from Alliance, sending the Terrorblade in the top lane and putting Centaur bot. LoTa will probably be fine against the Prophet the way this is played out so far. He has some decent farm to go up in the top lane with against the Prophet, and a level 5 Centaur on this lane is a lot more threat than a level 3 Terrorblade.
Man, they thought Necrophos was an easy target with the Soul Ring, but PPD bailing him out in fantastic positioning. He's really good at the defensive supports. Well, Aki, perhaps looking for a kill in mid. Arteezy is out of mana right now, but still a DK. Extremely difficult to kill at this point. Maybe when Admiral Bulldog hits level 6, they'll make a go.
And Arteezy has caught up a little bit here, relatively. He's still 10 CS behind, but at least percentage-wise, he's doing quite a bit better than he was in the beginning against Bulldog, so Dragon Knight is getting his farm. And the thing is, Arteezy doesn't need to win his lane or get extreme farm. The more important thing is that the Necrophos gets a good start here. And with the 2 kills happening in the bot lane, the supports of EG have got the experience they were missing. And because of that, they actually start moving a little bit here. Putting some pressure on Admiral Bulldog here will probably get him down to about half.
Universe on top.
Stampede. They're using it aggressively, though. It is to catch up to Universe, indeed. Nice Sprout coming out. Aki will do whatever damage he can, but EG, defensive TP in from PPD to save him there. And yeah, pretty much a nice multi-purpose Stampede there, saving Bulldog a little bit, getting the initiation on the top lane, but no kills coming out from it.
Fantastic Sprout by Universe to block him off. Uh-oh. Bulldog.
Bulldog. Damage being done to everyone here. The Nature's Prophet ultimate is going to come in as well. This might be enough to take him down. It will. The poison attack as well as Ignite should bring down Bulldog on the back end. Now Misery poured it in to try and help. He's helping no one apart from the Radiant team. Arteezy getting another kill here in the mid lane. And still half the Dragon form remains, so he can do some really good damage to that tier 1.
Now the early game has failed by Alliance. They guess their lane's right, but EG just outplayed them in each of the lanes, and now they're forced to do the standard safe lane try with LoTa.
And Fear, all the while just getting some good farm down here. Went for the Soul Ring opener, which is a very unusual build on that Necrophos. Probably going for, I guess, the Bloodstone with that Soul Ring, or maybe it's just a casual Soul Ring early on into maybe a mech, but they have other good mech carriers. They could build an Arteezy. I think he generally doesn't do that. It's mainly Fotz's Dragon Knight build to go for that, but alternatively, could even get a mech on either the Prophet or the Abandoned. There's so many good mech carriers on the Radiant side that they can kind of just wait and see what, in the situation, who should buy it based on their income. And yeah, as far as the Necrophos goes, it is a very fragile hero, so getting a mech is often a way of dealing with that, but an alternative here is actually to get a BKB, because that's something Alliance will struggle a lot with dealing with their lineup. BKB on the cores of EG could end the game very quickly.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily need one Necrophos, not until later. Surprisingly, Necrophos has actually gone for a 3-2-0 build. You usually only see 1 point Heartstopper, but I guess he has Soul Ring for sustain, so he doesn't really need it, but if they start pushing, he's going to have some mana issues, unless they have mass arcanes.
Arteezy still getting some good farm. He's almost caught up to Bulldog now, as a matter of fact, because of the little bit of rotations and action going on right here. Even in levels, he's now topping the charts with his level 8, so got a lot out of that help in middle, which he needed. And now Alliance are trying to find some sort of opening somewhere. Still have to claim their first kill. Looking for PPD, but he's just playing very defensively here, not exposing himself to anything. And even should he be caught, I think he still will survive unless they get the Ancient Seal off. He can just remove the concussive shot with his Aphotic Shield and probably get out. Arteezy now in Dragon form once again, looking to push the mid lane. We're seeing the Living Armor kicking in here, doing some of its job, but I don't know if Alliance are getting enough out of this. They've got decent farm on Bulldog and Loda, but apart from... oh, wait a second. Zai, good stun comes off, but 8 Mother's still going to get a lot of burst in here. Okay, that's a duo you do not want to run into. There's a Sprout coming in. Fear is here with the Reaper scythe as well. Will not be able to get it off. Can't get in range here. Doesn't Bloodlust on himself, but now Arteezy coming in from the side. This is going to be an easy kill. 8 Mother will be on the sidelines for 57 seconds in an 8-minute game. That extra 30-second death time is really going to hurt.
Loda in the meantime metamorphoses and starts pushing top, and they could actually be the one to get a tower for. Looks like PPD's already TPing in, and nice rotation coming out from Centaur, maybe sensing a gank coming out from Zai in the bottom lane, but will still go down in the end.
And it looks like EG will have to reinforce this top lane. Loda doing some pretty good damage here, and there's only a Trian on one of the teams, and it's not EG's, so every single point of damage done to this tower will remain done. On the other side, well, EG are trying to push down that mid tower, but they did get stopped, although there was a kill for it, but it will be healed up here again by Alliance. And Admiral Bulldog is doing very well as far as levels and farm goes. I'm wondering which item build he goes for, if it's just the standard Bloodstone, if he has something else in mind here, because he could go for something like a Yule's build-up. I think Yuling away the Abaddon, or maybe even an Orchid, could have a huge impact on the game here. It's one thing Alliance needs. They need to be able to disable the key targets, or the key defensive hero rather, in that Abaddon in order to bring down any other hero on EG's lineup. I'm sure they have the Scarith Silence, but Scarith needs to get in range first, and I think Timbersaw has a bigger chance at it.
Yeah, they definitely need to try and kill that Necrophos early on in the fight, and won't happen if PPD's right there. And Nature's Prophet making pretty good headway on his Orchid too. This tower is just going to go down without a contest.
Yeah, they put quite a lot of emphasis on healing that up in the living armor, but was not enough. And now 5 for 1 for EG. Looks like they, well, knowing EG, they will probably be rotating to their next tower, which I imagine will be the bot lane. We already see the ping coming out from Misery. This is the next target. We don't want to give this one up. How's 8 Mother looking on that Blink Dagger? I think he's still quite a ways away on that Centaur in that bot lane. Necrophos currently fighting up against him. We'll be pushing towards the tower here. He's about 1,000 short, so probably a few minutes to go here for 8 Mother at the very least, maybe even more if a fight breaks out and he does get killed, especially if it's the Necrophos. Just that extra 30 seconds on the sideline is such a big deal. I mean, even if you want to buy back, you're dead for that much longer the next time because your death time is so long.
It doesn't seem like Tree's being that effective in stopping these tower pushes, though. They have a lot of instances of damage with Nature's Prophet and his Nature's Call, as well as Dragonite with his ultimate. It's just, I don't really see the Tree pick fitting in here, and even his Overgrowth versus a Necrophos who can still do whatever he wants to do, a Dragonite, very long range too, Abaddon who can shield everyone off. It doesn't seem like the ideal hero for them in this scenario, and it's certainly not going to keep Terrorblade alive. Not when the Orchid comes out, especially.
And yeah, especially when EG starts doing an organized push where they have 5 heroes, that the living armor is not going to make any sort of difference on defending the tower in most cases, and it looks like that's what they're aiming for now. Currently 3 heroes. Prophet will be porting down as well, so it's a 4-man squad for EG in the bot lane, hitting tier 1 tower already. PPD, Arteezy, Fear, and Universe gathering up here. Alliance are going to try to do some damage here with the Chakram, as well as the concussive shot, but EG don't care. And they're just going to continue here. The Death Pulse from Fear will keep everyone nice alive. Here comes the Dragon Form from Arteezy. And this is the innate problem of Alliance. We knew this was going to happen. Where is the solution?
Well, ideally they try and Misery gets multicast on top.
Oh, Zai almost soloed Misery, so they're going to have to port in 8 Mother. Actually, Wrath of Nature will be claiming that kill, and at the same time, Dragonite even killing off Aki in the bot lane. It's a complete bloodbath across the map. 2 for 1 for EG, in addition to claiming the tier 2 tower.
Do they go high ground with this?
Control.
I mean,
they could, right? There's nothing stopping them. Apart from Chakram, that's not enough. Alliance really... This draft for me was... The Terrorblade last pick for me, they've really cornered themselves here, and I'm still searching for some sort of solution. I think one possibility is the Blink Dagger of 8 Mother, if they can get some sort of good initiation and burst the target down and maybe take a fight based on that. But they still don't have it level 6 on Skyrim, and that's what's supposed to seal those kills of the Centaur.
That would probably be the turning point. I'm still questioning where they're getting value out of this tree pick too. It just doesn't seem to have the synergy that they really need. Terrorblade already up with his Yasha, doing very well in terms of CS, but he can't really split push. EG very good about splitting up their resources to make sure that Alliance doesn't take towers while Dragonite and company are taking towers of their own.
Yeah, it looks like Arteezy is already hitting that top tier 1 tower. Will probably have his ultimate available very soon and just go for that tier 1 on his own if there's no backup coming in from Alliance. Now, we will see the Dragon Knight picking up an armlet here, actually, which I like this choice a lot when you have all this defensive healing supports, because just boosting your health by that 500, you can actually keep him alive and keep him topped off all the time. So Arteezy will be very difficult to bring down. The Blink Dagger from 8 Mother will do it whatever it can, but I don't think you can go on Arteezy at all. And that's a big problem with your Alliance, because if you can't open on Arteezy at all and he's just the frontliner, you have to find some sort of way of getting in on the back line. And the only way I can imagine right now is smoking around, which it looks like Alliance indeed will do. This has to work, or they're going to lose another tower recall.
I mean, even if they kill Fear, they still might lose a tower on top.
Yeah, looks like they might try for it. 8 Mother's going to blink in, will use the Stomp as well as the Double Edge and Stampede. That's a lot of damage, but they took a lot in return as well. 8 Mother actually brought down to about a third here, and all the while in the top lane we've got Arteezy as well as Zai pushing that tier 2 tower. Will retreating now as the secondary smoke is used by Alliance. They have just used 2 smokes on getting 1 kill on a hero who's out of 20 seconds, but they'll get another one. Arteezy very cockily here, keeping in the middle of everything instead of going to a safe spot. He's still living! The triggering of the armlet, absolutely perfect from Arteezy. They get 2 kills here, we'll get a third. No, he will be turned around on a Bulldog. Good whirling depth, has no way of bringing down the trees though, so it will be a 3 for 1. I was sure Arteezy was just a goner there, but the surprise play with the armlet, what an absolutely perfect timing from him.
EG also had an Observer Ward mid. They saw that smoke ain't coming, and Arteezy super confident with his armlet toggle there. Well played.
Yeah, it was like he wanted it to happen. Although it looked like he just wasn't paying attention or not respecting the movement, but at the end of the day, they get a really good trade out of it. So at the same time, Universe will be chasing down Misery. Ooh! Missing the Sprout here. Misery will not, or Universe canceling a TP out. As Fear, he's gonna hit it blind! Oh, this is a very, very dead and sad Treant. He's doing what he can, is running for it. Will maybe no. And Fear actually gets to see where he died. He basically ran into him at the end there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Of course, just following the Death Pulse to, well, if nothing else, just taunt Misery basically and deal a little bit of damage with the aura, although I don't think he actually even needed to pursue there, but at least a hilarious moment nevertheless here, and Fear grabbing himself another kill. And as far as the gold and experience goes, it's just a very, very clear lead for EG right now. Controlling the map very nicely, a 7,500 gold lead. As far as the experience goes, we're looking at about 4K. And the values of themselves are not even necessarily that important. The important thing is that their heroes are doing well, and every time they go for a tower, it seems like Alliance either have to pull up a really big play or get a gank somewhere else.
And I don't really think they can do so with these 2 super tanky heroes. Now you have Dragon Knight with an armlet as well as a Necrophos with a Bloodstone. And this is before they get a mech on Abaddon, and they're just going to have incredible amounts of sustain. And if PPD's in the right position, I don't think Alliance can get a kill.
Oh, they're trying to initiate on Arteezy here. Will silence him up as well. There's the Stomp and Double Edge. With that improved damage, the increase coming out from Ancient Seal, he cannot survive that. Skywrath as well as Centaur together. This is such a scary combination. And important kill for Alliance. I think there's no better hero for them to kill than the Dragon Knight right now. He is still the primary pushing tool. Of course, Necrophos is getting pretty relevant as far as being a secondary frontliner, but the real tower damager is Arteezy, and with him on the sidelines, Alliance, if nothing else, buy themselves a bit of time.
How do you think this early 16 minutes has fared compared to how you thought Alliance would go going into the game?
I said they were going to lose their towers at 15 minutes, so they've done better than I thought, right? They still have 2 towers standing, and they've claimed 1 for themselves. I think it could be worse, but I still think they have the hardest task ahead of them, which is what happens when EG group up 5 heroes and have an Aegis. And that will inevitably happen, because I don't see Alliance taking a fight in the Roche Pit either. They're going to try to go for Bulldog here. Good Timber Chain. Oh, the Universe gets in for the Sprout and the Orchid. Bulldog has no escape right now. Is there a follow-up stun from Arteezy? Will not be puffing the Dragon Form. There's the stun from Ogre. Follow-up from Arteezy. They will be bringing down Bulldog here. And with this 40-second death timer on the Timber Saw, probably claiming the tier 2 mid as well.
They still haven't dealt with Loda at all, but I'm not sure if they need to.
Yeah, that's the problem. Alliance, sure, he can split push, but if he doesn't push as fast as EG's lineup, it doesn't really matter. Will be forcing a TP top from PPD, but I think the rest of EG will actually continue mid here. Even without the defensive support in Abaddon here, they should have more than enough to stay alive between Necrophos, Dragon Knight, and of course the Prophet with the Orchid, providing some sort of utility there. And I don't know if Alliance want to try to fight this without Loda and without Bulldog. Concussive shot. Arteezy shrugs it off.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And BKB coming out very soon for Arteezy. We're talking about like 400, 500 gold.
Oh, Loda is going to get jumped on. Universe missing
Sprout a little bit here, but doesn't matter. They have the Orchid as well. He is a goner, and they even get the Reaper Scythe on. Loda is dead for 73 seconds. He does have buyback though, so he might have to use that, because EG could choose to just push the top tier 2 and maybe into the tier 3 here, forcing the buyback. It's a full minute, but Arteezy is on the other side of the map, so might not do it right now. He does not have a TP scroll available, so this is going to take too long, and Loda should be back, but the tier 2 tower is probably a goner.
Typically with a Terrorblade with 5 towers down and EG 4/5 manning so often, you'd expect them to take a lot of towers, but EG's been fantastic about defending against a split push, and I think they're really good about split pushing and defending against a split push, which is why I think they're
just the overgrowth from Misery
favored.
looking for, okay, the overgrowth and defensively stampede out, basically just threw away 2 ultimates, and I am not sure what the GO was there, but that tower is most definitely gone now, and this might give EG the confidence to even push into the base. This is a really big deal that Overgrowth as well as Stampede are down.
They don't have to is the sad part. They can swing an Erosion, they can just out farm, they can get Blinks and pick off Terrorblade. Many options available to them at this point.
Now Terrorblade is finally coming back. Probably happy he didn't have to buy back there because he wants to hold on to his gold, but still, that's such a long death timer. Being out for 73 seconds, just basically getting pretty much no gold for the last 2 or 3 minutes based on that. Or, yeah, roughly 2, because he was running away for a little bit before he got caught. Now he needs to catch up to the wave top. He's now back there. Arteezy now picking up that BKB. To me, this is just like a ticking clock and just a matter of time before EG feel confident to go for the base push. And then everything for Alliance comes down to, can they get the perfect team fighting coordination and get the right targets off. They're going to go on Bulldog here with the Dragon Knight. There's no secondary stun available. Nice counter initiation from Edmother. Gets a double stun here, but Universe is on top of Bulldog with the Orchid dealing some really big damage here. Will Suicide with a Bloodstone. And because of that, now Edmother is out of position. This is an easy double pickoff here for EG, even forcing out the Stampede, which would not help him get out of that situation. 2-0. Arteezy, however, did use the Dragon form, so probably not going to be able to push the base in this iteration, but
Universe has just been everywhere.
He has been playing such a good prop this game. Has been making such a big difference. First of all, winning that bottom lane for EG when it looked really grim, and since then the Orchid has just been the perfect pickup for perfect pickup for dealing with both Terrorblade and the Timbersaw. Now, rotating into Roshan, they're doing really good damage really quickly here. Fear will, in the meantime, TP top to try and defend, but the tower's already gone. Loda did claim that, but now Universe is going to pour it in. Loda using the Manta, though, doing really good damage. That's an awful Necro's ultimate, if I may say so myself, doing absolutely no damage. Loda will Quelling Blade, not going to get Universe, though. But a very important Manta there, showing off the Manta style to Universe as he Orchids him there, will not be able to get that kill. And he does get out himself.
Really great Sunder there by Loda, anticipating the Reaper coming and using it just in time so that he's at full HP. And looks like they will continue the Roshan, but at this point they don't actually have Fear there, which is a significant factor when you talk about EG sustain.
Roshan, not long for life here. Arteezy, as well as Universe, doing it as a duo. Hanging out outside, will be helping out Loda with some heals and shields, and there goes the Aegis. Giving it to Dragon Knight. This is kind of a big surprise for me, as we're going to see an initiation here onto Zai. Tons of damage being dealt, but the defensive support from PPD just way too much to deal with. Ape Mother will now be on the receiving end. There is no Necrophos ultimate at the very least, so only out for 40. But now with the Aegis on the Dragon Knight, do you think that was the right call to give it to Dragon Knight? I guess Fear wasn't in the neighborhood, because he would have been my priority.
Yeah.
Else they would have probably given it to him. But now, 2 lives on the Dragon Knight. They might choose to just go ahead and push without using the Dragon form in the first iteration and just use that after he resurrects. Just keep him alive as long as
I say they
possible.
use it now, because Centaur's down. They can get a lot of damage on this tower.
Alternatively, just go for it now. But, well, it is Universe who's in the top lane, so it doesn't matter. He can just port back in. They're going to do exactly that. Good damage being done by the Chakram here from Bulldog. Arteezy outranging it now. They're just standing right outside it. Bulldog keeps it running. Losing half his mana already to the Chakram here. Gonna see some transmutes going up as well. Good damage on Arteezy though, will need to be healed up here by Fear. Another shield comes in from PPD. Just textbook pushing play with EG with a lineup that they're so comfortable with, and almost taking the tier 3 for no expense.
Yeah, trying to maybe bait out a buyback from Centaur, but he doesn't even have the money. They're just falling apart here. Terrorblade's died a couple of times. He has BOTs, but he only has 1,000 HP, and there's no way he can stand up to the AoE and sustain of EG, and they certainly don't have the burst to take down the super tanky Necrophos, who almost has a complete Shivas, and Dragon Knight with 1,500 HP and a BKB and an Aegis. The Alliance just don't have the tools to deal with this push.
I mean, we kind of reach the same conclusion every time, which is, no split push. It's a problem. You lost all your towers. What is the little sliver of hope that Alliance are holding on to right now? Is it ganking Fear right now? That's at least the... He just bloodstoned with 90% health. He realized what was coming. He didn't want to get burst down in one go. That's a very rare sight, though. But might have been the right play.
Maybe just wait for Terrorblade to get big and wait for him to get big enough to the point where EG have to commit 2 heroes to defend instead of 1, and then maybe they can take like a 4-on-3 or 5-on-3 with the other 2. I don't know. It's a long shot for Alliance, but Terrorblade still has been largely uninterrupted.
Yeah, there are, however, 3 EG heroes who are still above him in farm. Not by much, but it's still a significant lead for them. And I feel like Loda needs to get extremely farmed before these 2.5 or even 3 cores, if you will, of EG cannot deal with him. And the thing is, one of EG's cores is a Prophet, so he will always be able to defend and split push and just TP into the fight. So I think EG are still in a position where they can always just commit one of the other heroes to defending against Loda and then port in the Prophet. So it seems like a very easy deal for EG here, and I'm wondering if there's... Well, what would you do if you're Alliance? Is it all eggs into one basket, just let Loda farm, hope for the best? Because I don't think he can do it alone.
Yeah, he just has to split push, and they can't really TP back Ogre or Abaddon, or if they do, they can't actually kill him. He'll just Manta and run away, and if they commit Dragon Knight or Necrophos, Alliance will be looking to take a fight. So you just wait for EG to mess up in one of these pushes and commit too many heroes to defend, or commit not enough heroes to the push, and just take advantage of that on the back of a nice Centaur initiate. And try and avoid ganks, use illusions smartly to try and scout them out, and wait for Loda to be big enough, just because Dragon Knight and Necrophos, they did go for these early tanky items to try and take down these towers instead of going for more economy items.
Yeah, looks like it is going to be a push now from EG, trying again with only 3 heroes, though. They're not fully committing just yet. Zai available with the Aghanim Scepter on the Ogre, of course the double Fire Blast level 2. Multicast is pretty scary to say the least. It's a great way of dealing with the Terrorblade, by the way, which the Ogre was picked before the Terrorblade, so we can't really give them credit for that, but the Axe upgrade I think is a very good choice here to just getting 2 Fire Blasts on Loda is pretty much, it's not a guaranteed kill, but combined with Necrophos it is.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stampede isn't going to save him from that. Living Armor is certainly not going to save him from that either. So, well, Alliance maybe just hoping out for that Scotty for Terrorblade before making a move. And EG just eyeing the T3s on the back of their Aegis.
2 really big items though. Shiva's Guard completed for Fear and the mech for PPD. I think it's about to be go time for EG in the mid lane. They still have the Aegis. Oh, Stampede. They're trying to get in on Zai, but using it way prematurely here actually is 8 Mother. They might still catch him out though. Will do that. Get the kill here with a double edge from 8 Mother. Wrath of Nature flying through, dealing some significant damage, but doesn't really matter right now. And Alliance buying some more time. Do you feel like EG have been a little bit too passive? They got that mid-tier 3 down to about a 5th of its health, and they haven't tried for it since then, and now they've effectively allowed Alliance to heal it up with the Treant. They didn't use their Aegis, and they're giving a load of time. I think they're being a little bit too cautious here.
They do this a lot though. They have the tools necessary, but they don't want to take that risk just because they have very good map control right now, and losing one or two heroes here and there is much better than the risk of getting 4 or 5 man wiped inside the base. But at the same time, I think it's highly unlikely that they get wiped in a base. All they have to do is spread out, PPD, shield whoever gets stomped, and they should be good to go. I mean, their heroes are insanely tanky right now. Maybe a pipe would complete their tool set and make them feel confident enough to push up the tower, but now if they push, they don't have the Aegis anymore, and somebody risks dying to Timbersaw plus Centaur plus Skywrath Burst, especially if the Ancient Seal goes on Abaddon. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, PPD has to be very careful. He is extremely good at playing these defensive supports though, so we'll probably be staying in a very good position at the back. Just let Fear as well as Arteezy do the job. They're going in bottom with the Treants here. Our Alliance were not ready for this. The Chakram had just been used by Bulldog in the mid lane, so they get a little bit of a freebie here, forcing out the Glyph for...
And the Living Armor just went out.
And Living Armor. Arteezy taking some damage. They cannot really commit to this though. Mizzy out of mana. Both Fear and Arteezy doing... They're just going to town. Alliance are not doing anything about this now. Finally, the Metamorphosis popped by Loda, but his illusion's just going down. They found the real Loda. Fear with the ultimate. Such an easy kill. No Metamorphosis available with that buyback. Loda will be almost useless. They're getting in on Arteezy. The damage is not there.
getting off the BKB, getting healed. This is easily one, if not 2 lanes of frags, if not even the full game. Bulldog will not be successful in suiciding here. And yeah, this was basically what EG were waiting for. We were debating whether waiting too long. It doesn't matter.
It's just ugly. Terrorblade, Naga, AM, Spec. I mean, they just too predictable with these. And the EG is very, very good about executing push strats to take down all your T1s and T2s.
Oh, wow. Zai even getting an extra kill here, easily bursting down Ake with double Fire Blast. Is still being kept alive by PPD. Universe even claiming the trend at the back end of play. Fear will currently get Ancient sealed, but they'll just back out very easily here. Zai getting dangerous with those. There's almost no mana on PPD as well. They might just sacrifice Zai here. We'll get a 1 cheap Fire Blast here, which is of course percentage based, and he will fall. But at what cost? They've lost double racks. They will go in on Fear here. There's the Aphotic Shield though. He's getting healed as well. Fear is just living through all of this. Finally goes down. But they've already taken 2 lanes, which is more than enough, and maybe even more than they came for. And Alliance, they need to buy a hell of a lot of time now. Loda buying back beforehand, pretty much to no avail. He's almost dead as well. To Universe's Treants, as a matter of fact. Universe chasing inside the Dire base will take down Aki. At the same time, Admiral Bulldog getting opened on by Arteezy. Will be getting Misery as a consolation prize, not getting Bulldog that he wanted. Now working on getting onto Ape Mother, will reach the stun. There's no mana for Breathe Fire here. I don't know if he needs it. Ape Mother is trying to turn around here. Bulldog actually going to go in. Really nice combination here. Great damage being done, but it is Fear returning to the battle. Gets 2 kills here, 1 with the scythe. 84 seconds on the sideline for the Centaur. Those numbers are just way too high every single time it seems, but that's the hero.
2 racks down, and not much left in Alliance's arsenal to stop this push. And yeah, Necrolight's actually pretty good versus Centaur and Timber, them being strength heroes, and Heartstopper just owning them. And I mean, it just takes so much for them to kill Necrophos in each of these fights, and Dragonite as well. He already has HOD as well as the Mjolnir. The farm discrepancy is just immense at this point.
Oh, now there's a little piece of good news for Alliance. Probably the biggest item in the whole game they could pick up, at least at this point. The Aghanim Scepter for Bulldog. Now they have twice as much wave clear as they did before. They now have 2 Chakrams on Bulldog. So maybe, just maybe, they can hold on to their 3rd lane here.
I think this is just really bad implications for Alliance further in this tournament, though. If I expected them to adapt to their mistakes in the first game, in this game, and it just shows that they're just not caught up to speed in what their mistakes are, how they need to draft, and how they need to play against teams that have figured them out completely. And they did a little bit of switcheroo, but the early game botched attempt to kill Fear turned into a double kill. And then after that, they reverted to their old ways, and EG just executing this picture-perfect push strat to just sweep them.
This is a good move from Alliance. This is what they need to do. Wrap around and try to get one of the key targets down. They can't kill PPD, obviously, because of his ultimate. But if they can silence him, which is what they're going to do now, they might be able to open on someone else. But a fast Orchid from Universe. Ape Mother being blown to bits. Loaded out. What? What? They all just vanished from the face of the earth. Easy 5-0 fight for EG. I didn't even have time to play-by-play that. They all just died within 2 seconds.
Another nice Orchid from Universe.
Yeah, just phenomenal play by him all game.
Well, that one's in the books. Sadly, not too much to say about that.
It seems like whenever we do these analyst casts, we did one at the TI4 qualifiers as well. It was also one team has a great pushing strat and the other one has no counter push. It seems like this is our commentator's curse whenever we cast together, Ben. We want to analyze it a lot in depth, but I feel like, in essence, that was actually a pretty